and welcome to my channel, Dream Chase ASMR. Today we're going to be reading another story. Today it's called Mog and the Vee Ee Tee. The Vee Ee Tee. The Vee Ee Tee. And it's by Judith Kerr. Mog and the Vee Ee Tee. One day, Mog was trying to catch a butterfly. That's Mog. She jumped high in the air. She jumped and jumped. She jumped and jumped. She jumped and jumped. She jumped and jumped. She jumped and jumped and jumped and jumped. Suddenly, something happened to her paw. It was very sore. Something happened to her paw. It was very sore. Very, very sore. Sore paw. She smelled it. It was still sore. Then she licked it, but it was still sore. She tried to walk on it, but it was very, very sore. Very, very sore. Very, very sore. Mog thought, I've got 3 other paws. I'll just walk on them instead. What's the matter with Mog? Said Nicky. Debbie said, I think she's got a sore paw. Poor Mog, said Mr. Thomas. Let me see. But Mog wouldn't let anyone see her paw. It was too sore. It was too sore. Mog wouldn't let anyone see her paw. It was too sore. Poor little Mog. Oh dear, said Mrs. Thomas, if it's no better tomorrow, she'll have to go to the Vee Ee Tee. The Vee Ee Tee. The Vee. The Vee Ee Tee. The Vee Ee Tee. If it's no better tomorrow, she'll have to go to the Vee Ee Tee. The Vee Ee Tee. The Vee Ee Tee. She said Vee Ee Tee instead of vet, so that Mog wouldn't understand. Vee Ee Tee. Mog hated going to the vet, but Mrs. Thomas thought she probably couldn't spell. That evening, Mog did not want to eat her supper because her paw was too sore. Her paw was too sore. It was so sore that she couldn't sleep. In the morning, she did not eat her breakfast. She just lay on the floor feeling sad. There she is. Suddenly, she was not on the floor anymore. Not on the floor anymore. Not on the floor. Mrs. Thomas had picked her up. Mog thought, what's happening? It's rude to pick me up without asking first. Then she was in a basket. But it was not her proper basket. It was a nasty basket that shut her in. She did not like that basket. She meowed a big meow. Debbie said, "It's all right, Mog. We're taking you to have your paw made better." But Mog just wanted to get out of the basket. Then they were in the car. It made a big noise, and all the houses and trees and people rushed past outside. Mog knew that it was not right. She meowed and meowed. She meowed and meowed. She meowed and meowed. She meowed and meowed. Meowed, meowed, meowed. She meowed and meowed. At last the houses stopped rushing past, and suddenly Mog was in a room. There's Mog. It was a room with lots of other animals. Mog thought, I knew it, this is the place I hate," and she meowed more than ever. She's meowing. The other animals were sitting quietly with their people. They were surprised to hear Mog make so much noise. So there's a chihuahua, a parrot in a cage, a big brown and white and yellow dog, a hamster who is not in a cage, and a big gold dog. On this poster there is a dog, a cat, a mouse, and a hamster. "It's all right, Mog," said Debbie. "It's all right, Mog," said Nicky. "It's all right, Puss," said the nurse. But Mog wouldn't stop meowing. "It's all right, Mog. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right." After a while, the other animals thought perhaps Mog knew something they didn't. The dogs began to bark. The parrot began to squawk. Even the hamster said eek, 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 eek. Eek, 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 eek. Eek, eek, eek. They made so much noise that the vet came to see what was happening. "Oh, it's Mog," said the vet. "I thought it might be. Perhaps we better see her first." Mog suddenly thought she liked the shut-in basket after all. The vet tried to look at her, but it was very difficult. Difficult, 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 difficult. It was very difficult. It was very difficult. It was very difficult. "Perhaps this will be easier," said the vet. He's tipping her out of her carrier. She's trying to stay inside. "There," said the vet at last. "Now let's have a look at that paw." did something very quickly. Then he said, "All done." She had a nasty thorn in her paw. And look, here it is. Now I'll just give her a little pill. Look at Mog's face. She's so cross. She is so cross with the vet. She's frowning. Now I'll just give her a little pill and... Ow, said the vet. Mog bit him. "Oh, Mog," said Debbie. "I'm so sorry," said Mrs. Thomas. "Watch out for that cat," shouted the vet. "Quick, catch her," shouted the nurse. "I'll catch her," thought a big dog, "and I'll catch her too," thought a little dog. "But I'll catch her first," thought a third dog. So Mog jumped from the table after she bit the vet. She ran past the nurse, and she was running all around the vet surgery. And these three dogs, the golden one, the small one, and the multicoloured one, they're all chasing after her. Like, the parrot's cage has come open, and this person is holding the hamster out of the way of Mog. Heel, 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 heel. Sit, stay, come back, shouted the dog's people, but the dogs took no notice, no notice. The dogs took no notice. "They're all going wild," shouted the nurse. The hamster got mixed up in the wild rush. The vet got mixed up in it too. So there's Mog. There's a hamster getting mixed up, and all the dogs, and the nurse, the vet nurse, and the vet. I think the person is trying to catch their parrot. "Stop, we can't have animals going wild," said the vet. The dog's people all shouted, "Heel, sit, stay, and come back," again and again. And after a while the dogs stopped. "Heel, sit, stay, come back. Heel, sit, stay, come back. Heel, heel." The hamster is on the parrot's owner's head, and the parrot and the chihuahua are making friends. "Come on, Mog," said Nicky. "You're a very silly cat. Back into your basket," said Debbie. She's looking a bit frazzled up there, poor Mog. "Goodbye," said the vet. "I think she'll be all better in the morning after a good night's sleep." The vet is holding the little hamster. He's got the parrot. He has a bandage on his finger. And the little brown dog is watching too. And that night Mog did have a good sleep. Mog had a good sleep. Mog had a good sleep. Mog had a good sleep. A good sleep, sleep, sleep. Mog had a good sleep. But the vet did not have a good sleep. dream about wild animals. There's the vet. There's a koala bear. There's a tiny orangutan. See? There's another koala bear. There's a tiger. There's a lion. There's a bear. There's a crocodile. There's a panda. There's a cheetah. There is a fox. There's a porcupine. And there's an owl, and they're all in the vet surgery. Mog had a dream too, but it was a lovely dream. Mog dreamt that she was a butterfly. Butterfly, butterfly, butterfly. Butterfly, 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 butterfly. Butterfly, 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 butterfly. Mog dreamt that she was a butterfly, butterfly, a butterfly. Mog dreamt that she was a butterfly. And in the morning, her paw was no longer sore. Her paw was no longer sore. Her paw was no longer sore. It was not sore when she licked it. It was not sore when she walked on it. It was not sore when she jumped up high. She was better. She was all better. She was totally